I always forget to do groupies.
Well, we're gonna get started since you guys got quiet so quickly. So.
Yeah.
All right, a few housekeeping items. If folks didn't find the elevator, there's an elevator out there off to your right when you exit that'll take you downstairs if you don't want to navigate the stairs. Bathrooms are in this lower right-hand corner, so women's and men's bathroom are located right there at the bottom of the stairs. Turn around and they'll be here in the corner. So my name is Todd Murray. I'm the director for the Agriculture and Natural Resource Program Unit at Washington State University Extension, and this is Justin Bush, who'll give you his full title here when he takes over. But I want to kind of frame kind of why we did this, why you're all here, and want to thank everybody for making the trek out here. In previous jobs, both Justin and I were located down in the Columbia River Gorge, and if anybody's ever been know where Skamania County is, we both worked in that county, and we had this unusual situation where there were so many agencies and so many different ways to manage lands down there that there was a big need to coordinate things between all the agencies and even between all the two adjacent states. So what happened was we were both working down there. The recession hit. The ability for the local weed program and other municipalities to make it to the statewide conference, they couldn't send people. So we were like, okay, let's have an invasive species workshop down in the gorge and have one there, and so nobody they can still get their credits. And so when we launched our first one, we also wanted to take the opportunity to really look at the natural resource workers and professionals down in the region and take advantage of their keen eyes, their ability to really pay attention what's happening in the environment around them, and really their interest in education, and not only teach them about what weed issues are happening, but also teach them about some of the insects that we're worried about that are crossing the border, and get them and really recruit them to be first identifiers of some of these new pests. Because working with Washington State University, we've found that, at least as far as insects go, it's folks like you that really come up with a lot of the new records that we find in the state. So it's people like you that is like, I've been working in this spot for a long time, and this is the first time I've ever seen this insect, and then submit it, and it turns out to be something new. So we wanted to take advantage of that, and our first workshop, we were expected about 25 people, and we had 125 sign up. And when we surveyed those participants, we found out that almost nobody was there for the pesticide credits. They were there for the content, and were really interested in this idea of really using everybody's eyes and ears and knowledge to help with this early detection and rapid response. So since then, Justin and I have moved on to other jobs. The Washington Invasive Species Council showed interest in the workshop and started to invest in it a few years ago by sponsoring a USDA Farm Bill project that helped fund the project, and we've been carrying that on now for maybe 4 years. And so it's really gained a lot of momentum down there in the Columbia River Gorge. Under Justin's leadership, we wanted to look at different ways to implement this model, because as a result of that model, we started to get really good cross-pollination, really good collaboration between the two states and all the agencies there that were interested in invasive species. And so last year we did a pilot project to engage Idaho. We had a similar workshop on the border in where I'm located in Pullman. And so as a second follow-up that step, we wanted to come here to Bellingham and start engaging some of those cross-border relationships with British Columbia. And so with that, I just want to thank everybody for making the trek here, and I'm going to turn it over to Justin that'll also further kind of give you frame of reference.
Great. Good morning, everyone. My name is Justin Bush. I'm the Executive Coordinator of the Washington Invasive Species Council, and I work for the Washington State Recreation and Conservation Office. I think Todd did a great introduction to why we're here. It's really exciting to see all the different faces and people coming together, organizations, to talk about shared issues. And that's really the main goal that we had in setting up this specific workshop, is to invite our partners from British Columbia so we could start sharing information and start trying to address issues at a landscape level. We all know invasive species don't respect fence lines. Well, they don't respect jurisdictions, national forest boundaries, international borders, all just the same. And so we are, as a community of people in Washington as well as British Columbia, we're all dealing with the same issues. And so if we don't have dialogue and we don't start trying to deal with this issue together, we're not going to be effective and successful in the long term. And so that's really the main point, is to start dialogue and trying to find things that we're all dealing with, and then how can we work together to address these shared issues and leverage resources and prioritization and that sort of thing. So with that, who here traveled more than an hour to be here? That's amazing. Who here traveled from British Columbia? Well, great. Thank you. Thanks for being here. How about other Canadian provinces? No? Okay. Anyone from outside of Washington State? Another state, for example? Thank you. 2. Excellent. So we've got a really great group here today. I certainly don't want to dominate the conversation. I hope that all of you can network and learn from each other. And I think it's just going to be a great networking opportunity, as well as a great time to learn about some of the newer priorities to this region, things that are headed this way or just being found here. There are a lot of things that can impact our economy, our agriculture, our natural resources, and our environment. And if we don't act early and treat new things as an emergency and immediately take action to prevent that spread, or prevent things from the first place, we're just not going to be effective. And so how can we work together to do so? And I think that the primary reason that we think that everyone should be aware of these things is that we need help looking for them. There are a lot of eyes, scanning for these within the different agencies, but maybe 1 or 2 people per agency that's looking for this. So we really need everyone's help to be effective. Quick shout out to the planning team. If you remember the planning team that put this together, please put your hand up. Great. So thank you. And with that, I think we're going to transition to opening statements from Ray Willard, Chair of the Invasive Species Council, and I'm also happy that Martina Beck with the British Columbia Inter-Ministry Invasive Species Working Group. So with that, Todd, go ahead.
All right, I'll load those up. And another quick housekeeping item.